Imagine a massive engine running at top speed, powering a significant chunk of an entire nation's economy. Now imagine someone drops a wrench into the gears, and the whole machine shudders to a complete halt. That engine is the Tata Group. With a market value of 26.5 lakh crore rupees, its footprint spans automobiles, software, steel, and aviation. But on August 18th, for the first time in nearly a century of operation, the Tata Sons annual general meeting was adjourned before it could even begin. This line chart tracks the stock of Tata Consultancy Services, the group's most valuable asset. When news of the adjournment broke, shares dropped 3.7% in a single session, contributing to a total loss of over 45,000 crore rupees across the group. For a conglomerate of this scale, the cancellation of a routine meeting signals more than just a scheduling error. It suggests a systemic disruption in how the company is governed. The disruption arrived at a delicate moment. Chairman N Chandrasekaran had recently informed the board he would not seek reappointment, initiating a transition of power at the top of the company. The August 18th meeting was the legal venue required to reappoint him as a director, a necessary step for him to remain chairman until his term ends next February. The entire proceeding stalled for one reason: a representative for a philanthropic charity failed to show up. The governance of India's largest corporate entity now depends on the physical presence of that charitable representative. Tata Sons bypasses the typical power balance of public shareholders or family founders, answering instead to a specific group of charities. This pie chart shows the ownership structure. Philanthropic trusts hold 66%, but majority control lies in this wedge: the Sir Dorabji and Sir Ratan Tata Trusts. Together, they hold exactly 51.54%, tied together as a single controlling block. This leads to the quorum rule. The annual general meeting cannot legally begin unless a joint representative, nominated by both trusts, is present in the room. This means the administrative functions of the for-profit empire are legally subordinate to the internal workings of these charitable trusts. This rigid structure was tested and reinforced following a multi-year legal battle with former chairman Cyrus Mistry. When the dispute reached the Supreme Court of India, the bench explicitly upheld the shareholder primacy of the Tata Trusts over the corporate board. The ruling protected affirmative voting rights found in the company's Articles of Association. These clauses grant the trust nominees the power to veto major board decisions. The Supreme Court decision provided the legal basis for the philanthropic trusts to retain absolute control over the conglomerate's direction. On August 18th, that control mechanism became a bottleneck. It began when the Maharashtra Charity Commissioner launched an inquiry into the Sir Ratan Tata Trust to review the composition of its trustees. Pending the investigation, the commissioner issued a restraint order, making it illegal for the trust to conduct internal board meetings. We can trace the mechanical failure through this flowchart. Step 1. The restraint order prevents the Sir Ratan Tata Trust from voting to select a corporate nominee. Step 2. Because the trusts must nominate a representative jointly, the freeze on one trust stalls the required representative's formation. Step 3. Without that joint representative, the Tata Sons AGM quorum requirement is impossible to meet. A routine bureaucratic inquiry into a charity automatically deactivated the governance mechanism of a trillion-dollar conglomerate. Because the meeting could not reappoint him, Chandrasekaran is currently operating in a state of legal limbo. Inside the Tata Trusts, leaders like Noel Tata are navigating the regulatory restrictions while simultaneously attempting to manage the succession process. At Bombay House, the group's headquarters, executives can gather in person, but they lack the legal standing to finalize top-level corporate actions. This creates a vacuum of authority just as the company attempts its most significant leadership transition in a decade. The quorum rules and affirmative voting rights were engineered to prevent any action from occurring without the explicit approval of the trusts. On August 18th, the system functioned exactly as intended, freezing all corporate action because the trusts were not present. The legal architecture built to protect the Tata Empire became its primary constraint, a system so rigid that it paralyzed the company during a critical transition.